Ujjivan SPF or Small Finance Bank has filed for an IPO. What does this mean for the promoter? What does this mean for the promoter holding post IPO, and where exactly is growth moving in this kind of an environment when there is a general slowdown? Mr. Ittira Davis joins us now, Managing Director and CEO with Ujjivan Service. Mr. Davis, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Now, you filed for an IPO as per the RBI guidelines. This is something which is expected. But I just want to understand first that what is happening to your business in this kind of an environment, because you are a small finance bank. You've just migrated into the lending business and the borrowing business completely, and after you did that, slowdown has hit the economy. So what is happening to your business?
Good morning. I think there's one thing I need to say as we start, because the bank has filed a DRHP, there is a limitation on what I can discuss in the public domain at this stage. Obviously, once things move ahead, we can talk a little bit more. But to answer your question, we had our first quarter results about 2 weeks ago, and the business has been very good. It has been one of the best quarters we have had, and business continues to be good. Now, the economy is slowing and there are signs all around, so we are very watchful. It may take some time to affect our customers and our customer base. So, we have to be vigilant and to make sure that, we take the right action and provide the right support that is needed for the market.
Okay. Just to first of all understand and to answer whatever you are able to, given the current situation as you just described, Mr. Davis. But with the listing of the SFB, some concerns about the prospects of the holding company. So firstly, just talk to us about what this will mean for the holdco, for the shareholders as well. If you can confirm the quantum, are you looking at 1,200 crores? How much will the fresh issue be, and what will be the quantum, if you could also confirm that?
Yeah, the draft red herring prospectus, which was filed on Friday, has the issue at a maximum of 1,200 crores. So that is the maximum amount, but it can be anything within that. And it is the first stage of the IPO process. So, there are several steps to be done before we get to the final issuance of the IPO. So, until we get there, I think a lot of speculation is currently taking place in the market. It would be best to wait until the final numbers are given, how we are going about it. So a couple of months will be required for that to be finalized. So in the meantime, what we are looking at with that sort of amount, we are looking at a possible minimum dilution of the holding company shareholding. So right now the bank is a wholly owned subsidiary. So, the shareholding dilution will be minimal compared to the current holding.
Regulatory requirements, how much do you need to bring it down to? And is there a commitment which you will have to do that this is the minimum you need to bring it down to in coming quarters and coming years?
Yeah, the minimum requirement of a IPO from SEBI side is 10%. So that is something that we would do. Now, the background, of course, to this is that the Reserve Bank of India, when the SFB licenses were issued, required that the SFBs, after 3 years of operation with a capital of 500 crores or above, would have to list at the end of the third year or by the end of the third year. So that is the part which we are trying to address, and the 3 years will be completed on January 31st, 2020. And we hope that this listing would be completed by that date. Because for us, the dates set by the RBI in the licensing are important, because we are going through a journey, and each step of the journey, having your slate clean is very important. So the next phase of our journey is, in year 5, we intend to apply for a universal bank license. So this will help us in that direction.
Sure. But could you help us understand what will be the shareholding post the IPO, and what will be the level of promoter holding in the company? Also, what does this mean really for existing shareholders, because I'm sure they're wondering about it as well.
Yeah, as I said, it's a bit early, in terms of the final amount. We have given percentages because we have given an amount of 1,200 crores as the upper limit. So depending upon, market conditions, the price, etc., at the time we launch the IPO, we will determine it. But as I said, the promoter, the holding company shareholding will come down very marginally, and it will still continue to hold bulk of the shares. So the structure will not be very different. It will be a way to get listed, and then the capital which is raised would be used by the bank for its growth, and that's how we see it. We don't need to take too much capital from the market at this stage because we have good level of capital already. So this money which comes in would be used for growth in the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay. Could you also help us understand how is it that you're assessing growth for FY20, given the kind of challenging environment that we are in, not in terms of liquidity, but the will to lend really? What kind of growth numbers do you plan to achieve, and how is it that you are planning to garner more market share given the tough environment?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we can't give too far ahead forward-looking numbers. At the end, when we presented our 18-19 numbers, we gave an indication to the market of where we are heading. That was at the end of May. We still stand by that, and our first quarter results confirm that we are moving in that direction. So the growth levels which we projected for this current year continue to hold good, and we believe that we'll be able to achieve it. Now, if you ask me how we are able to garner that during the current slowdown in the market, there are a few things which are helping the small finance banks. The NBFC slowdown is benefiting the small finance banks because in the first 2 years, last couple of years, the small finance banks were getting their act together, the setup of the branches, the systems and everything. And at that time, some of the MFIs, some of the NBFCs took away a little bit of the market share from the SFBs. Now, with the slowdown with the NBFCs, it's the time for the SFBs to take back that market share. So that's just a balancing out of the situation. And right now, that will benefit us. So if the slowdown is a prolonged slowdown, then I think the whole economy will be a little tired. So I think that's something that we need to watch out. If it's a short-term slowdown, business as usual, we expect the year to be a good one.
What's your reading of the pulse indicating, though? Does it seem like this is going to be a prolonged slowdown? I know not many have a visibility on really how long the stress in the economy is going to continue, but if you are getting a feeler nonetheless?
See, up to now, we are not seeing any signs in our segment. So we are hoping that the government will be able to put forward the right measures to get the economy back on track. So hopefully it'll be a short-term one, and things will move back, and things will pick up because foreign investment and other things. Hopefully it'll come back into the country, and also the rest of the investors will look to pushing up and getting the economy back on stream.
Fair point. I know maybe you can't talk about an AUM growth guidance, but how is it that you see the mix between microfinance and non-microfinance book shaping up?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned that also in the earlier indication. So I can say that the microfinance book is growing fairly well, but the other businesses, because it has started from a small base, they are growing a little faster. So, last year, at the end of last year, the mix was 85 and 15, and now the 85 will come down a little bit, the 15 will grow, and that's how we see that going forward. The book, now that we are a full bank with all the banking products and services, including all the services that we give for deposit taking, I think you'll see the structure more and more balanced. Although the bread and butter, the main focus will be the micro banking portfolio, but as part of the overall portfolio, that will come down, and that's what we had projected at the start of the year.
Thank you for joining us there, Mr. Davis. Good luck